All right, gentlemen. Good evening.
Good evening, boss.
Everybody, right?
Awesome.
Yeah. Well, everybody, we are. It's that time once again, Wednesday, and we know it's time to hang out and just to sharpen one another. You'll know the rhyme by now. So we are here, ready to be sharpened by one another and just to be stretched and just have some productive conversation. And if you are right, maybe on there now when you say, "All right, let me join." All right, we are here for the next hour, and it will be good to have you joining us. All right, so once again, Mr. Hez is facilitating the session this evening. Last week was just off the chain, and I was like, no, and we need to make sure we dive a little bit deeper into this one here. So this is part two, and I'm sure there's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, it's gonna go a few parts, but let's go on part two this evening and see what we can learn. All right, over to you, sir. I'll be ready to go. Over to you. You're on mute, yeah? So if you just unmute yourself. Let me see. All right. All right, there you go. You are still. I can't hear you at the moment. We can't hear you. You're on mute. Just unmute yourself.
Volume.
Yeah, your sound is not. We can't. You're not coming through. No. You are muted still, sir. All right. So apologies there for that technical issue there. I'm sure that he will be back because we have to make sure we hear that continuation of last week's session.
Yes.
But how are you guys, Mr. Clinton? How's your week been? Okay, sir.
Yes. Been good.
Yeah.
Good. Yes.
How's the family? Everybody all right?
Family is lovely. My wife celebrated a birthday yesterday, so
yeah,
quite happy for that.
Oh, what a birthday today?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So you did
Yesterday.
you did a celebration.
Yeah, I do a little dance and so on.
That's what I'm talking about.
He's back.
Hello.
Are you back, sir? You back, sir?
Yes.
Yeah.
We can hear
Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. There you are. There you are.
Yeah, great. Yeah, I
Oh,
was actually going to say, guys, good evening if you're watching. If you're contemplating joining, join. Let's talk about this and sharpen each other. I was just going to say before I started that it's really hard to match such introduction and such comments on what happened last week, Kendrick. So if you're wondering why my mic kept having issues and everything connecting, that's possibly why. But let's try. Last week we did something that's quite different. So we committed to God before we start. Thank you, Father, for this wonderful moment. We're asking that your spirit moves, that you speak to us, that you show us the way to go, that we do not do it in our own will, but your will only. In the name of Jesus. Amen. Amen. Fantastic. Awesome. So last week we had this topic, as I was telling Kendrick, it just came to mind, walking on the fault lines. And we were saying that the fault lines are, the places where the earth is cracked and most volcanoes happen there. And we talked about the feeling of walking along one of those. I hear there's one in New Zealand. And the feeling of walking along one of those and what will be going on in your mind if you were doing that? And what if you sleep and fall in there? How deep are you going to fall? Where will you end up? And so on and so forth. And I started by saying this is not about making us aware that we live in danger so that we don't start living by fear. But by that, I was talking about consciousness, living consciously.
Yeah.
Because every day is a gift. And as we get this gift, we have to make sure that we make the best use of it. That gift does not come without its, the negative side. If you're given a day and you decide you're going to walk across a motorway, something else is, you're not going to see another day. If you're given a gift and you're not going to use it, or you use it negatively, then it's not going, it hasn't achieved its purpose. So that's the consciousness that I was talking about, living consciously and understanding that yes, we are children of God, we're living our lives, we are safe, we can do all things, but being conscious that for every day we're given, we have to use it in a certain way, because if we fall off the cliff, there something could happen. And as we know, although we have a God who forgives, if you fail to pay your mortgage, your bank will not forgive. If you go and get yourself into a bad business deal, there's not going to be any mercy. If you go and get yourself into the wrong job, the consequence is going to be there. So that's the view I'm taking of living on the fault line. Because if we then understand that we have to live carefully, and we used a lot of Kendrick's favorite word, intentionally, with that consciousness that this is a gift, this is where we are, and I have to use it the best way that I can, then the results will be different from when we just take for granted what we're given, and we continue to live every day as if we've been given 1,000 others, we are sure of 1,000 others. Yeah, and now I moved on from there. And I talked about the price and the cost. Whatever it is that we're looking to achieve, whatever it is that we've set out to achieve, we have that responsibility to then go and find out what the price is. And we looked at examples of if you want to buy a car, you want to buy a house, whatever it is that you're looking to buy, you have to go and spend time researching. It's not just price, it's about facilities that's there, it's about convenience, it's about, what your specific requirements are. All those things, you have to put them into consideration before you then say, oh, this is the one I'm going to buy. So now, considering everything that we have been given the opportunity to pursue in this life, what is it that's the price? Whatever it is that we've dreamed, whatever vision that we have of this future that we've been given, what is it that we want to achieve? Now, if you make the starting point, make consciousness the starting point, first recognizing that life is a gift, vision is a gift, business is a gift, relationships are gifts. You then understand the importance of going out to find out what is the price that I have to pay. If my business is going to work well, what is it that I need to pay? If my relationship is going to work well, what are the sacrifices that I have to make? What does it cost? What is it going to cost me to get that relationship? When I compare that with cost, the cost of repairing the car, the cost of fixing a bad relationship, the cost of recovering a business, the cost of, if you have full understanding of all that, then you become conscious of that fact. Like in the example I was giving earlier, you become conscious of that fact that when you get it wrong, there is a cost. It's going to cost you something, But if you learn and understand the price, then you start everything from that point of what is the price of this, And you find that if you invest that in the particular thing that you're pursuing, then each time you want to go off track, each time you want to put yourself in danger, you see that automatically what will come to mind is, this is the price I have paid. This is the price I have paid. And that's why, if you look at the gospel, the letters of St. Paul, he continues to remind people of the price that God paid for us. He continues to remind people that whatever you do, do not take for granted this very high price that has been paid for us to be who we are. And therefore, we must now relate that to all the other things that we're doing. And then we talked about the importance of urgency. The importance of urgency. I had too many verses and so on. So if I don't manage to go back to all of them, it will be good. So what I'm intending us to do is just to put all these on the table, and then we can share ideas and rub minds on how you see what is on the table, and how we can begin to fine-tune our lives in such a way that we're walking in this consciousness, that we are understanding that whatever it is small that we're looking for in our lives, there is a price to pay. And that takes us to the other aspect, which is urgency. Most of the times, I mean, if you're like me, I'm used to putting things off, because I like doing things in a very special way. Most of us don't understand that's the first step of procrastination, and destructive procrastination. I know I've come up with that concept of prophetic procrastination, which sounded like a good thing. Prophetic procrastination is when you delay taking actions and then it works out in your favor. But there's destructive procrastination, which is what most of us suffer every day, because we want to have something perfect. We want to do it in a very wonderful way. So we spend a lot of time thinking about it, postponing it, and looking for the right environment, looking for the right climate for us to do that thing. And what do we end up with? Nothing. And in fact, by the time we get to the end of that, we're already thinking of something else that we have to do. But the reality there is, as we delay these things, time is passing, our lives are going, opportunities are closing in most cases. It doesn't even matter how strong or how weak or how old you are. There are certain opportunities that would close for you at 18 and you never open again, even if you end up living 120. So if we are in this consciousness, we understand that this is urgent.
Yeah.
And this is urgent. Then the app.
All right. I think we've lost him again. We've lost you again, sir. Or is it just me? Can you hear him, Clinton?
No, he's frozen. I'm
You
sure
can't. Okay.
he'll probably be.
All right. No, that's fine. I'm sure he's going to jump back on again. But I kind of just wanted to chip in there. I think he will realize that it's not coming through. But what I want to chip in, I kind of just want to chip in here, because one of the things that really stood out to me when we had the conversation last week was that what he just mentioned, that there's a cost attached to whatever it is that you and I are looking to obtain. There is going to cost us, and the fact is, it's going to cost us more than what we anticipated. And I think it's important for us to kind of like be aware of that, because sometimes we start something and we are very excited about it. It's kind of like, oh, this is what I'm going to do, and I believe that God will help me, and I'm kind of like jump in there. I'm like, but this whole thing is all pumped up with motivation. It's all pumped up with just kind of like excitement. But then you kind of like slow down and say, all right, but how is this going to impact my family? How is this going to impact my finances? How is it going to impact my time? we have to count the cost, because the thing is, it's going to cost you more in time, it's going to cost you more in finance, it's going to cost you more in sacrificing. It kind of like take me back a few years ago when I this one I kind of like decided I'm going to jump into social media, and I said, you come online and say like, all right, for the next 365 days, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, I've got a message what I want to share with everybody, and I believe I'm going to come on here every single day, and I'm just going to kind of encourage somebody. I'm going to just motivate somebody, and it's like, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's like, oh my God, this thing this thing is costing me more than what I anticipated. And let me just let him know that to jump on back on when he can. And the thing is, and then you realize, oh my goodness, but this thing is costing me more than what I anticipated. Let me just say that, man, we can't do more than one thing at a time. I'm trying to communicate, but I also want to send a message. I also want to drop Chido a message, but it's like, all right, I'm sure he knows to jump back on. Let me just finish my thought. And I came to realize that, man, it's not that what I was doing was not working. It's just, we should always have more than one option. Always look at, okay, if this is not working, how am I going to kind of like, just pull back and just rethink, okay, this is not working the way I thought it would work. Is there a different way for me to do it? Maybe some way that will be quicker, a way that would be easier, a way that won't be so, so time consuming. And it's like, but now kind of like you get stuck in your head because this thing is costing you more than what you thought. And I think if you don't get out of that headspace, and if you don't get out of that headspace, what will happen is like we feel like, oh man, why are things not working? No, it's just because I did not count the cost properly. It's just because I thought it's going to cost me exactly 1 hour a day. It's going to cost me £2 a day. It's going to cost me. No, it's going to cost us more than what we actually anticipated. So welcome back. I was just touching on the point that you were talking about regarding the price that we need to pay, and I love that part because I've had some experience on that one there, so I was just sharing with everybody. But please continue your thought, and hopefully your technical issue is now been resolved.
Yeah, I'm hoping so too. Apologies, guys. It was deliberate.
No
I was
worries.
just chopped out. Maybe for a reason. Okay. So we're back. I maybe I just do a quick recap. So, what I was talking about before we had that glitch. We was talking about the living in consciousness of what our mission is, and making sure that we are thinking about the price. We find out what the price is, because for everything that we need to achieve, there's a price for it, like you were saying earlier. Yeah, and there's another comparison that I made as well, which is on when I was talking about the urgency. I was talking about urgency versus survival. It's very easy to pursue things that we want to. It's very easy to pursue it based on the fact that we have to be alive. We have to feed ourselves. We have to pay our bills. We have to, do this. We have to do that. But when we change that focus and start looking at it from the perspective of urgency, which I was talking about earlier about, whatever it is that we have to do, what we have to achieve, we have a certain window, and it doesn't depend on how long that we have to live. There are windows that will open today that will never open, even if you had another 80 years to live. So if we pursue those things with urgency, if it's relationship building, if it's business building, if it's opportunity found in one way or the other in our life, then it requires urgency, because if we don't pursue things with urgency, we're going to default to that survival mode. What the bills that we have to pay will have to come, the responsibilities that we have in our family, in our society, in everywhere that we get involved, in the church, everywhere is going to catch up with us one day, and we have to resort to the survival mode, which is what is it that I can do to be able to afford what it is that I'm looking for, whether it's in your life, relationship, or business. So that's why I believe it's really urgent for us to pursue these things, pursue these goals, looking at it from the standpoint of urgency, so that by the time things are required, by the time there is need for one or two things, in those areas, you're already prepared because you worked in urgency. You don't get caught unawares, by doing that, you begin to see really, really, really different type of peace in your life. All right. So I ended the session last week with looking at mission versus job, and I was looking at that, considering how we live our life, what it is that we pursue, what we believe our calling is, where we believe we're going, and so on. And I was comparing that with someone who is on a mission and someone who has a job. So you have a job, you wake up, within 5 minutes, you're in the car and you're off. But if you look at the space explorers, they have years and years and years of preparation to start with. And when they go to space, it's 24 hours. Even when they're sleeping, some other person is going. And when they wake up, they go back to work. There's nothing like 95 when it comes to missions. So whatever it is we are looking to achieve, whatever it is that we believe that we are called to do in our lifetime, I am suggesting that we take the approach of mission, the mission-based approach, whereby whether we are at home, whether we are on the street, wherever we are, we know what we stand for, we know what we want to achieve. Because it's only when you do this that you begin to see those opportunities as they come. Let's say if you have a job, like I do at the moment, you go to work. Once it's 5 o'clock, you close the laptop, and that's it. You face something else. You don't think about it. Sometimes you don't even think about it again until it's the next working day. People on a mission, they don't think like that. They don't do things like that. It's a 24-hour thing. And I think I use the example, the scripture from Joshua 1:8, talking about this book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it day and night, so you will succeed. You will prosper and have good success. You think about it, because sometimes the Bible talks about certain things in a way that if the Holy Spirit picks it up and interprets it to you in a different way, then you see that there are so many ways we can apply this thing. What is it that we want to achieve? Do we want to become a better person, for example, a better leader, a better husband? How many hours do you commit to studying, to finding out why and how to do that? Do we want to become a better brother, a better sister? Do we want to become a better business person, achieve more success in business? How many business books are we reading? And how close are we to those books, to those thoughts of what we want to achieve? Because it's very easy, for someone like me to come out and say, oh, I want to achieve this, I want to, become one of the biggest, what. But there's a commitment there. There's a commitment there. It's got to be a mission. It's got to be something that you do not have a 24-hour period, that you have not picked up a book, that you have not picked up a way of studying to become better. And that's one of the issues that we have today. People spend hours and years in companies, and they look who's been there the longest. They make them the leader. And that's it. And they start lording it over everybody. But that's not what makes you a leader. If you want to be a leader, you've got to be a student. How often, how many, if you go out there today and ask people who are in leadership positions, how many hours they commit to leadership studies and leadership training in a week, most of them is minus 100. They don't put in time there. That's what mission is. And when you meet people who are on a mission, that's why most times you see someone, they say this guy is on a mission, because the approach is different. There's nothing like starting now and I'm ending now, or I'm ending at this time. No, it's whatever it takes, however it is going to be achieved, whatever the price is, I'm willing to pay it, as long as we have set out to achieve is achieved. Because in the real sense, our lives depend on it. We want to be people of impact. It doesn't even matter whether it's on the streets or it's in your family or wherever. We want to be people of impact. And as we go along every day, we'll encounter people. What do we have to give those people if we are not preparing? And what the root of that preparation that we have to do is to make sure that we are continuously taking the mission-based approach, not stopping, not just committing halfway into whatever it is that we want to achieve, but committing big time and be that person that's on a mission, not someone who is on a job, who is expecting their wages at the end of the week. Because people on a mission, what they achieve is for a lifetime and legacy. For people who have jobs, they achieve things for their lifetime. And for us as Christians, we say we follow Christ. He's been gone for over 2,000 years. He's still being praised. Everybody is still talking about Christ today. Even people who are not Christians are talking about Christ today. That's a life of impact. Even people who don't believe, they read his words, they read his teachings, they make meaning to them. So what is it that we're going to say, this is our mission? Because if we call that as our mission, then our aim should then be, how do I leave a legacy doing this, by the result I will achieve by doing this? Else, we have jobs 9 to 5, and there's nothing about being in a job. And you can be on a mission at a job as well, in such a way that people will look at you and they say, this person, this man. Remember what happened in Antioch when the people saw Christians and they said, this person must have been with Christ before. So there's a way that we can do that. We can pray in everywhere that we operate, and people will see us and they will say, this is a man on a mission, and whatever I can do to help them, I will make sure that I help. That was where we ended it last week. I don't know which part you guys would like us to discuss or expand on a bit, but this is something I believe that once in a while, even as we approach the end of the year and begin to think and plan for the next year, we need fresh power, fresh vigor to pursue what we are pursuing. We need that reminder that what we pursue is not something that is at our level. It's something that's beyond us. It's something that is worth all the sacrifices, all the effort. It's something that will be worth the price that we pay for it. It's something that deserves the urgency that we need to achieve those things. And we've got to make it a mission and make it happen. That's it. The floor is open for everyone. At least we got there without the internet of it, which is a good thing. Thank you.
You wanna go for it, Mr. Richie? I can see, man. You're ready, bro. Look at that smile, man. You're good to go.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Quite a deep one. 7 years ago, I thought, well, boy, I don't know, I think it's about 8 years ago. It's all right. I need to go and make sure now I get myself ready to get married. So, in those days, you say, like, I'm a bit younger, so I'm going to the gym to look buff.
Just a little bit of volume, sir. I'm struggling to hear you. I don't know if it's only me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. I'm at the max volume. I don't know if it's the phone.
Okay, it's fine. Go for it.
So I went to the gym, I signed up. I went once
Yes, sir.
and I paid for a whole year, thinking every day the gym time is coming there. The phone alerts me gym time. 2 hours, 1 hour in advance, half an hour. I only lived 5 minutes from the gym. I even bought gym clothes.
Come on now. Come on now. Speak to us, sir.
So, um, when you spoke about the cost, the challenge I look at all of that is when you have got to decide how you see life.
Hmm.
If you see life only as me, myself, and I,
Hmm.
you will always struggle. And the cost you pay will always be extremely high. When you see life as the way God sees it, love your neighbor as yourself, you're never thinking really about yourself. Because when you focus on God, God is a holistic God. And as you seek Him, He sorts you out. But as He's doing that, remember, attached to you is somebody else's answer. Everything you do is an answer for somebody else. If you get up and you go out there and you jog, you have just been a part of somebody else's answer. Somebody needed to see a tall, skinny guy like me going out for a walk to be encouraged. Yeah. Somebody else needed to see the motivation. Okay, it's not only me feel like walking this morning. That guy is out there walking, so I can do it too. And he might not go for another month, but you going consistently encourages him. The price you pay for just doing it and stop planning it is way less. And whether you are a leader, whether you are, doesn't matter what you are, you can call it what you like, but you've got to first lead in your own life before you can lead anything else, because you can lead everything else and everybody else astray. Yeah? Because, why am I saying this? When the testing times come, which they will come rapidly, especially if you love to use the word grow, you will find that the test, as it relates to you pointing back at you, will keep coming. You're trying to say something, but then you'll hear this other voice saying to you, but you can't do that. Let me give you an example. I know there are people in the Bible, because I've read it, who God said to them, go and speak and do so, so, so. And they said, Lord, I don't have the eloquence for that. I don't think I could do that. Yeah. There are many, many instances in the Bible. One of the ones I love is Goliath and the kid. No match completely. No match for your call. That's how you feel. But you have been working on something. You cannot leave this thing alone. You've been learning how to do slingshot. You're trying a bird, you're trying to hit a particular spot, not knowing 20, 30 years from now, that's going to be used to slay the dragon. Okay, let me bring it into real terms. What I'm trying to say here is that I realized that as a younger man, I spent a lot of time planning and scheming and refining, but not acting on the thing that's been so close to me that I can't get rid of. Helping people. Helping people through my skills. You know the impact of that? Let me give you an example. Through my skills, there are companies who employ people. And what happens? When the revenue begins to go up, some of those people get bonuses. You'll say, but Clinton, what about you? Have you been paid more? Sometimes yes, sometimes no. Why? I didn't sharpen my skills related to that. But did the blessings go on? Yes, it did. The blessings came back? Yes, it did. Referrals. Yeah. Sometimes we focus so much on the maximum we can get. Be careful of selfishness in progression. Progression and growth deals with a multiplicative factor, and it deals with things that are real. Why do I say this? Money is not real. There's no such thing as depositing money in the bank. When you put money in the bank, you are lending the bank that money. I read it, I understood it, I watched videos, I saw so much of it from the horse's mouth. I was shocked. Yeah? The education we have is not real. It doesn't focus on any creativity. The education we go to school and get a PhD for, the education instinctively that we have, we don't apply any discipline to it. And it's the simplest form of you becoming who God called you to be. All these things, if I learned them when I was younger, maybe I'll be far ahead. But God knows exactly why you're going through a certain journey. But that does not mean you must sleep on the job, as you're saying. So yes, I agree. There's a level of urgency for us to treat this life as a more valuable gift. Because as you unwrap, think of a huge present. You unwrap this present. Inside of that present is other presents. Because other people will be blessed. Let me give you another example. If Kendrick decided Sunday gone, he's not going to prepare, he's not going to research, he's not going to get himself ready to preach. The amount of people that his message blessed last Sunday is a lot. But if he didn't prepare, and he might not see that now, it has nothing to do with whether he'll be promoted. None of that really matters. What matters is the impact of the seed that he's going to plant. Picture this guy just spoke that word. All those viewers online who saw at the moment and will see it in the future, all those ones who were present, that will share it with the others. And picture it as a seed, one seed planted. Yeah? This is the mustard seed example. This right here. His message. Yeah? Pew. You get this? One seed. Planted. So many people already blessed. They go and tell the others. They're blessed. They take from it. You have got tons of trees. Not seeds. Tons of trees planted because of that one seed that he planted. that he decided he's going to be disciplined enough. So when we begin to see life through a different lens, not necessarily maybe from a different angle, maybe how God intended you to see, which is it's usually a very, very simple approach. At that point, it's like, I can't explain it. It's suddenly like if the room had become brighter. And you begin to get this natural interest and a discipline that begins to work. And remember, you are becoming what Christ already created you to be. So if you try refining and doing this and doing that long before you have even sharpened your approach is sharpened as you act daily.
That's good.
It means that you are wasting time and not getting on with your work. Get on with the work and leave the rest to God. Because what's going to happen, he's going to bring people your way.
Yeah.
He's going to bring tools your way to cause you to sharpen.
Yeah.
So what you will cause troubles and negatives, what you will call troubles and negatives, they are not. They appear to help you to become better and sharper and smarter. And that's the one now that is there to optimize you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden now, I'm talking to you and the audience having a problem. God said, listen, sort your face out, yeah? Put a smile on. All of a sudden, you've got a lot more people. And you're thinking, huh? What's the trick in there?
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the night, when God wants to talk to you, because that's not when God is available. It's not because he had a busy day. You had a busy day. And he loves you so much. Imagine, he is king, he is father, he knows everything. But he waits when you are available. That's how he loves you so much. So I really love what you're saying. What I'm trying to challenge us here to do is to begin not to focus so much on all the various things we need to have right to go. Don't go paying for the gym for a whole year when the people say, why don't you try it? The 3-month trial and for 3 months, and if you're happy after that, you can keep it. No. Listen, I know myself. I want to pay for you. Nobody never asked you.
I know.
But you know why they're saying that to you? Because after the 3-month trial, they're going to tell you, they're going to have somebody around you. They're going to have trainers who probably were looking for business, who can say, I noticed this. Maybe you can do better. I can help you. And if interest begins to build, you will also find yourself researching stuff. There are people who've opened businesses and went and invest in offices and they pay so much per month and they have no clients. But they think when they open the office, people are going to come. So they have spent £100,000. Operation costs every month £5,000. Have any clients? £0,000.
Yeah. That's really good.
Then
That's really good.
what you're doing is that now you've got a sign outside the buildings. I am at McDonald's. Just come around the corner and come to me. You are advertising wrong. You're advertising McDonald's. Just do the work.
Yeah.
Focus and treat each day. It is not a joke. Each day is a blessed gift.
Yeah.
You are not promised to have tomorrow. So
I
when
like
you
that.
get it,
Yeah.
it is the most precious gift.
I really like that. I really like, the way you were just emphasizing on what you and I do on a daily basis. I really believe that's key. I really believe because uh, it's kind of like regard as luck, or some people would say like, oh, but somebody you had a nice break, but not knowing that somebody has prepared for the past 5 years for this one day to show up.
Yes.
And now somebody just come out of nowhere and just call it, oh, you are lucky or you had a break. No, I've been preparing every single day to be able to be ready when it showed up.
Yes.
And I believe it's not that it reminds me of it's kind of like we have to end the thing first. We have to see the end of a thing first and then go back and start it, because I think when we already have in our mind uh, kind of like, all right, this is what I see this thing look like in 3 years or 4 years or 1 year, whatever time time period you want to put. If you can see the end of it, and you back up and you say, okay, let's start. I know exactly what I want it to look like. You will waste less time because you will recognize, okay, what I see does not go in line with what this thing that is coming up now. You will get away with a lot of distractions. You will get away with a lot of things that you will just be clear, you will be focused. But if I kind of like and there's the price that we need to pay. That's what it's going to cost us some discipline, isn't it? And now when you are talking, and when you're talking about what we do on a day-to-day basis, that's where the challenge is lying, because sometimes it feels like I'm doing something day in and day out. Day in and day out, you just stay on it and stay on it. So when is the result going to start showing up? But if we stay with it, it has to show up. It's kind of like, because when the opportunity shows up, it's going to be too late to prepare. It's going to be too late to prepare.
I hear what you're saying, but 98% of humanity have a problem. 98%. This is just my numbers, my own personal numbers. I believe a huge proportion of humanity have been mentally climatized to depend on, rather than to be a creator. Yeah. Walking in creation, or working through creation, if that makes sense. What I'm trying to say here is that a lot of men and women will have dreams, will have an idea of the vision, idea, not the vision, and they can't get past it. And you talk to them more and more and they get passionate, but they cannot get past it. And this is a serious thing. You look at the documentary of Kobe Bryant, even this young guy, Marcus Rashford. It's very simple. It started as a kid. They spot that and they said, that, going to be that. But there's always an addition to it. That's a lot of people miss. That little things usually serves a humongous purpose.
Yep.
Always.
Absolutely.
And as much as people like to question it about what you'll do for your kids, it always serves a humongous purpose. Yeah. Along the way, people then focus on the mistakes made. Hold on. Let's look at this guy who played golf. What's his name? Black guy.
Tiger Woods.
Yes. Did that guy have an affair? At some point, don't that guy have a book as yet out?
Yeah, he's got loads of books.
Check in the Bible how many people that Christ called as his disciples Check their lives.
Mm.
Patchy issues. You had thieves. You had embezzlers.
Mm.
Who was the little guy? That was it Zacchaeus?
So yes, that's the
Zacchaeus,
guy that climbed the tree. He showed us how to get on top of the branch. He showed us how to branch out. Sorry.
And listen, some people are not going to like this if they see this particular part of the video.
Mm.
Do you know how many people are preachers like Zacchaeus?
Mm.
Not the Zacchaeus after Christ met him, the Zacchaeus before.
Mm.
They teach you how to get to the top. Yeah? They're telling you how to get there. Let me stop and reverse a bit. Why am I saying all of this? I'm saying this because, again, it's super important for people not to depend on people but to depend on God.
Mm.
And realize that He put us here to maximize life, maximize our time here, maximize our gifts. And the aim every day when you get up, as you begin to, when something hits you,
Mm.
if the doctor tells you that you're type 2 diabetes, but it's really so bad that he can't even put a time to how much time you've got left. So you begin to just get up every day and say, you know what, Lord, when you get up, when you wink, Lord, ooh, I'm here. Thank you. Now let's go. What are we doing today?
Mm.
But other than that, we just sit down and we just talk about it and we're refining. A lot of people, they haven't even started a business or they haven't even been doing their work. Not the 9 to 5 job I'm talking about. But they're refining. Huh? You got a shoe, but you're shining it. Come on. There are people who can go and take what they have and make shoes. So again, my point, reverse again. 1, just get on with it. The simple thing is usually the most effective part. And as you go out there to be a blessing to somebody else through what you're doing, the connections begin to happen. But if you sit in your own corner trying to refine and work it out, God did not make you alone on this earth. You have to connect with people.
Mm.
So you get up out there, you be consistent, like Chidozi was saying, just to give you a word to help you, add urgency to it.
Mm.
Because it's when you move, I think the song says, when you move, I move. I don't even know what song, I think it was a song. But the point is, when you move, your dream moves. And after a while, the rhythm is so good, the dream moves you.
Mm.
But you don't got no rhythm, nothing moving.
Yeah.
Song playing so and you going so.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I want to urge whoever will hear this, whoever's out there. The thing is that what we've got to do is not move in every single direction. It's usually a very simple thing, and you just move with it. And every day is going to be a building block, and you keep building, and you keep building. And then stop thinking. When you haven't, and here's a killer. You've painted this awesome picture in your head that in 6 months, the Lord has given me insight and depth and breadth that in 6 months I shall complete 10 years worth of work. And after the 6 months, you haven't even completed 2 days work. So you feel as though, boy, this thing can't be God.
Mm.
But you haven't even done anything. How come you're bringing God into this thing? Well, God didn't motivate me. No, you need to get up and motivate yourself.
Mm.
The Bible says, encourage yourself in the Lord. All the time. Not at 6 o'clock and 10 o'clock and then 2 weeks later at 4 o'clock. All the time.
That's it. That's it.
So I really hope that whoever's out there, don't don't feel like if you need to commit suicide because the wife talked to you horrible. You felt like if you was a really bad father today to the kids, and and things not working, and you just feel useless. No, stop. Blank your brain from that. Seek the Lord. Renew your mind and try. And you know what? Tell yourself this. If I get up and do one step today, tomorrow I'll do 2 steps. And when tomorrow comes, if you can just do one more step, do it. But don't get up today and tell yourself you've gone from 0 to 10,000 steps to boast that you can do 10,000 steps. It serves you no purpose.
Come on now.
I dropped the mic.
Yeah,
Very-
I had it.
Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Fantastic.
I don't, Mr. Hasby, on the top of the hour. I don't know if you wanted to round anything up for this
Yeah, I
evening.
mean, the mic has already been dropped, Kendrick. I don't know. I was saying
Gotta pick
I
it
had
up
the sound.
again, bro.
Yeah.
I'll pick it up again.
What an amazing insight shared there
Mm,
around urgency.
mm,
There's a way that words can be put together and you
mm,
double or multiply or quadruple the power that comes behind it. I think that's what we have received tonight, to start doing that thing. It's something that everybody struggles with. I was going to say it's something that I struggle with, but then I said, the right thing to say is something that everybody struggles with. And maybe this night will be a good night for us to recommit to revising and recharging ourselves and firing again and deciding that no, it's not about the results I produce today that I can't consistently repeat tomorrow and next and next and next. It's about starting from what I can become consistent on and building up on that. Before you know it, that momentum will happen. Because that's one thing I leave. Even when the engine starts, it doesn't start firing as soon as it starts. It starts from, and then it starts going. And even when you start driving it, sometimes it drags a little bit. But once it fires, once the engine is hot enough, it starts firing. But most times the discouragement that we give ourselves is not natural, but that's something that we produce for ourselves. It's something that happens when we want to start and we want to fly. Think about when the aeroplane wants to take off, it drives like a car, it goes slowly, and then it goes in the gear that takes it up, and then expends a lot of energy. So gradual, moving from phase 1 to phase 2 to phase 3. It's not as if it can't put in that gear as soon as it turns from where it picks people up, but things have got to happen at the right time. Certain things have got to happen. Protocols have got to be observed before certain things happen. So, investing in those little steps, because that's what stops us from starting. How do I say I've done this for years and right now nobody knows me and I'm starting again? What will people think? This is not really where I belong. No, I want that opportunity that puts me right on top, but there's no foundation. And even if you're on top today without a foundation, you're going to crash. So that's urgency, and keeping our eyes on the goal. The expectation should be that we will get there, but not on now, because now we're trying to start, and not despising that opportunity to start and adding that urgency and understanding that it's a mission and it will be worthwhile when we get there. That's all I've got. Thank you very much, guys. Another amazing session.
Brilliant stuff, sir. Thank you so much. This once again was one of those that we can just carry on, and we can go for another 1-2 hours, and we will just get sharper and sharper. So, gentlemen, I believe when you come back to listen to this, you will definitely be blessed. But listen here, it's been an amazing evening once again. So and I think the gold nugget for me this evening is, like, you don't underestimate those small things that we need to do on a day-to-day basis, because they add up, they compound over a period of time, and eventually somebody else might see it as luck, but all right. So thank you so much once again.
Before we go, can we
Yes,
pray
sir.
quickly?
Yeah, go for it.
Lord, we give you praise and thanks tonight. Thank you for another wonderful session. Lord, for those of us watching, God, those of us listening, I pray, Lord, that you will touch them and you will show them that whatever it is, continuous consistency will bring the compound effect. But they will see that if they keep going, one day it will produce, and it will produce more than they anticipated. We thank you, Lord, for the grace. We thank you, Lord, for your mercy. Even now, be with everyone as they go, and may this word touch many good. In Jesus' name,
Amen.
Amen. All right, gentlemen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, and have an amazing week. All right. Catch you guys soon.
God bless you. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.